Clears that. Hard left on the slalom. I think they had a bit an extra correction on the exit of the slalom. There's a really mean cone at the exit that doesn't allow you to take your favorite trajectory. Now on the double square chicane, rather slow there, but smooth. Now they have the last corner before the straight, so they're going to be pointing at us full gas. Tension at the braking zone. Well positioned. I think it solved the problem very nice. Bit of drift on the exit. The wide hairpin. Now they only need to clear 2 corners and they are heading to the finish line. Oh, unfortunately, it seemed like the car drifted. I'm not sure if they got out of the course, but here's the finish line. Okay. Very nice for Fabian.
Yeah, and he's getting the sign to continue directly.
Yeah, they went over 2 minutes time, which is not a great time for them.
But maybe he just got the yips in the first run, and now in the second run, everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's the job of the driver. Make at least one of the 2 laps count. So use this second one. I think they definitely are going much more aggressive now.
Yeah, and watch those power slides with the rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's what they have to do if they don't have the help of the aerodynamics. There he goes, but I think he's solving it much nicely than on the first run. Very nice hairpin. A bit of drifting. I think he wanted to avoid that. Now towards the pendulum. I don't think they have any suspension problems. As we saw, for example, in Berlin, the car is quite stable. Now through the slalom. Now that's the exit. Similar to before.
Yeah, now in the double apex and going to the square double chicane. And then we have another slow section before we had the longest straight on the circuit. And then hitting the second double hairpin. You really need to be on the outside there. And that's,
Wow.
yeah, that's the power slide you need. And then you just need to continue getting through with that. That was the right turn in the slalom, and this looked like a very solid
nice.
second run for Mittweida.
Yeah, no cones that we saw, so very clean. Really made use of this first experience and exploited it on the second attempt. So very good job from them. 90 seconds, 0.92.
The driver is complaining about grip, so that there is none. But yeah, of course, we didn't see many cars drive, so there's still lots of stones on the tires as well.
Yeah, I think dust is going to be a continuous problem, and you have to expect that the grip is not the same as you may have at home when you're testing in maybe a more optimal track in terms of grip or cleanliness, let's say.
But the driver is laughing, so he seemed to have fun.
I think it is a fun track. I think it gets a bit long. It's one of the longest tracks you can find in autocross.
To be honest, I'm a bit jealous. I really do want to drive now.
Yeah, I wish I could drive as well as they do. I'm sure that must be quite enjoyable.
And as Mittweida is in the post-scrutineering era, it seems that Manipal has cleared their pre-scrutineering, or are they in the middle of it? I don't see the red and white cone.
I think if somebody was hoping for rain to add a bit of show, sadly, this is we're gonna repeat a Formula One classic, which is expecting rain on a Sunday, and that never materializing. I think now it looks like we're gonna have a dry session for the rest of the afternoon, but the temperature is dropping a bit. I'm not sure this is gonna play a role, as grid depends more on dust than on anything else. But we'll see. There's a bit less than 2 hours left in the session. We'll see what the rest of the teams are going to be doing with the remaining time. I think the University of Bombay is also coming from the pits and joining at least the teams that are outside the dynamic area, preparing themselves.
Yeah, when we had that little break with Fast Tube, I've seen Delft in the practice area, so maybe they will make a return. I hope it won't be as late as in acceleration. But we have currently 4 teams that set sometimes, no, well, 5 teams that were driving, but I don't think we put the time for Fast Tube, right?
No, I don't think so. No, Fast Tube, we noted the time. We are uncertain about the outcome of the post-scrutiny, so we can't really say. It doesn't look too great for them, but of course we'll have to await the official's decision, and that's a bit the same case for AMZ Racing. There were cones here and there on both their laps, so it's very difficult to say what their corrected time is going to be. I think we hear the noise from the tractive system of car number 10, who's now approaching the green light, and that's going to be the first lap that the University of Manipal is going to be doing in Formula Student Switzerland 2026. And they take off. Let's see, very different noise from all the other drivetrains we have heard today. I think he compromised there his exit by going easy on his entry. I think the optimal strategy is the opposite, but took the correct entry to the slalom, so that's going to play in their favor. Now on the tricky hairpin, and they clear it. They had a bit of trouble on the exit, but not too bad. Going towards the pendulum, pay attention now, it's getting trickier and trickier the deeper you go. Now out of that, hard to the left and into the slalom. See how they clear the last cone. And now for the way back, the wind's on there, coming from the back, so not helping anymore for the aerodynamics. Heading to the chicane. Lost a bit of time, had to brake a bit in there. Those corners are also not not easy.
Yeah, and now going on the long straight, need to position the car really good here. And ooh, that looked like, yeah, 3-4 cones at the exit of the minimal radius turn. It's super hard for the drivers. And the car kind of sounds like a combustion car.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe it's the gears that.
Yeah, maybe we hear more noise from the gearbox than from the engine itself. A bit of a pity, those 3 cones at the very end. Maybe concentration's hard to keep for so long in such a technical lap, but nonetheless quite a good lap. I thought the braking zone, they really nailed it at the end of the long straight. That was quite nice. At least it looked nice from our point of view. But yeah, let's see. Again, I think I smell a bit of burnt, and that maybe that they were going quite hard on the brakes. They don't choose to take a second run consecutively. So maybe they take the strategy of getting re-scrutinized before going for the next run. You have to balance there if you want to spend some time and secure your time, or use the fact that the driver may be in the zone after the first lap so that they can improve on the second one.
Yeah, whilst Manipal is in post scrutineering, we don't have another car in queue right now.
Yeah, I think we're gonna use this moment of calm to do another martial rotation. It's quite nice that we have so many people that are here attending the event, willing to volunteer for the sake of the competition. I think that reflects on the spirit of Formula Student, which is not only to compete but also to contribute to the community. And I think most teams and most people I've met have been in this spirit.
And we're seeing something interesting here. So they chose, so Manipal chose to go in post scrutineering, cleared post scrutineering, and now they seem to go for a for their second run. So their time they put now was valid, and or is now valid, and now they're trying for their second run. So I think that's a pretty smart move.
Yeah, seeing what happened to Berlin, that they had a failure on their second run. Maybe they have a law student within their team that recommended, hey, if the track is clear, there's no queue, we can spend the extra 5 to 10 minutes in the post scrutineering, clear that, and secure those points. So, to an extent, that may play in their favor.
And I don't know if we mentioned the runtime for Manipal. So the first one was a 97.8-second lap. Yeah, and Manipal is going for their second run.
Modulating a lot their power through the corner, a bit Ayrton Senna style. I think once again they didn't do the best on that first horseshoe, but nonetheless correct entry to this slalom. And now going through the double hairpin. Bit difficult to get
And
the
he hit
second
a
one.
few cones there, as it seems. A nice drift entering the tightening pendulum.
We'll see maybe at the end of the lap how many marshals are walking across the track. Is the car slowing down? It seems to.
Yeah, and I see one marshal running to the car.
Yeah, so the number of cones is going to be irrelevant now. But it's interesting that it played in their favor if they managed to secure officially the points for the first lap. Bit unfortunate to have now to retrieve the car from the complete other side. I wonder how long it's gonna take for them. I think the marshals are pushing the car, and we'll see what the retrieval procedure is. Maybe it's gonna be a bit lenient on them, since there's nobody else waiting in the queue. It wouldn't be too bad if they can do the whole trip up and down to recover the car and fix whatever issue they may have.
So it seems like the three team members of Manipal are allowed to retrieve their car, and they're slowly but surely making their way to the end of the landing strip.
Yes, no damage done regardless of the speed they're going, since there's no other cars waiting in line. So now we have a few cars that have done the first run, which they're all also due the second run, and with 90 minutes left in the session, they should think about what they want to do, plus the remaining, let's say, half of cars that are able to drive should also plan what to do with their first driver. And there goes the car from Manipal, car number 10.
Well, in the first view, it seems like the car is still mechanically intact. So I hope whatever ended the run, that is something they can fix quickly.
Yeah, it could be a fail of the attractive system, which isn't easy to fix, but at least they can roll on top of their own wheels. They are stopped now before the exit of the dynamic area, so maybe they still have to be checked by the marshals to see if they still keep their stickers while they're getting the car sorted out.
So Bombay is going for their first run, currently getting into pre-scrutineering. So we get a bit of action on the track again.
Yeah, let's see how they fare against their fellow countrymen and women. What do you think, Dennis? Do you think lots of teams are queuing in the testing area instead of here, trying to set up their car the best for this kind of track conditions? I would say the conditions there are probably fairly similar, although maybe they cannot copy the same kind of bumps or off camber corners. We've seen not all the teams are clearing the first one with ease. So that's one to take into account as it can upset your concentration at the start of the lap. If I was gonna do my first lap here, I would be a bit extra cautionary there.
Yeah, the first three corners are really really bumpy, and I think well, I haven't heard many teams in the practice area for a long time now, so I hope they don't have any like deeper issues with their car. I think we're still missing Delft and Bern with the rear wing issue. And also Rennstall was competing earlier this day, so maybe they're just waiting and implying some tactic games.
Okay, I see the cone being moved. So the team from the University of Bombay, car number 77, should be able to proceed.
Yeah, on the other hand, I heard some loud cheering from behind me somewhere, so maybe one team passed maybe brake test, so we will see another team joining soon. Then there is a magically moving tent crossing the bridge. And yeah, indeed, it seems like the E-Trax team from Düsseldorf has passed brake tests, so uh, they still have 1.5 hours approximately to get into the autocross event.
Okay, and there goes the car number 77 from University of Bombay.
Yeah, and he's really cautious. I don't hope like he's not stopping there, but it
I think he's
seems like the
struggling for power.
yeah car is coming to a halt, and you loud beep, so the car is driving again.
Yeah, I suffered under this bump. We heard the contact with the front wing.
And it
I,
seems like they lost power again.
I think let's see if they can restart again. They have limited time to do so, but I think they get to go again. Let's see how long that lasts. It has a lot of rolling inertia, so when the power starts, they can still roll for a bit. I think while the driver is already pushing the button, trying to restart the car. At that speed, the hairpins are not a problem. Obviously, the driver would wish that he could push the car a bit more. Now it gains some speed. Through the pendulum, getting the last gate. I think that's
Losing
another loss.
power again, yeah.
Yeah, a loss of power. He's getting stopped at the entry of the second slalom. Hopefully pointing a bit to the entry. It would be a bit tough if he gets pointed out of the track. Yeah, restarts again.
Yeah, it seems like that was the third restart they had, and it seems like the car is stopping again, like at the very end of the landing strip, and driving again. So it seems like they will manage to maybe finish the first run with a bit of some hiccups here and there, but
Yeah, they were playing a bit with fire at some point. The tolerance of the marshals will reach its limit if they don't get going fast enough. They go through the double chicane. It seems like continuous loss of power. It's interesting how the car rolls quite a lot compared to teams that have a very high gearbox ratio. They get stuck pretty much in place as soon as they have a loss of power due to the higher friction. They somehow get going, and they go full gas. Oh, it's quite nice. They get a bit of practice over the double hairpin. That was closer to their potential speed. Another power loss. I can see the green light from here. And that's a red blinking light again. And the buzzing sound that signals power's on. Okay, hopefully it was the last one. You only need to push through the finish line. And that's going to be a completed lap. Still under its own power. So it's going to be able to park here in the scrutineering area without needing a push. 220 seconds for the University of Bombay on their first run.
and it seems like they're doing the same thing Manipal did, going for the post scrutineering and then maybe going again. In the meantime, UAS Mittweida So Mittweida is the first team to go for their third and maybe fourth attempt. They have been cleared in pre-scrutineering. Now that for that they have a different cone in front, not the big white and red one. And there goes Mittweida, and the driver is also pushing out of that third corner. It's a beautiful power slide. Looked like they might hit one cone there. It seemed like there was some cone falling down. Yeah, we've got one track marshal running for her life to get it up again. Entering now the tightening pendulum before entering the second slalom section.
Yeah, I think they solved better than the first driver. The exit of that slalom, it's not easy, not trivial. You kind of have a cone exactly where you would want to place your car to take this turnaround corner. They just have a small horseshoe in there, and now to the big straight. Go completely to your right, slow down, bit of drifting. Oh, almost. I think they
Yeah, he hit
touched
one cone, but stayed in bounds.
Yeah.
Also took the correct way through the slalom.
And that's a finish lap for them.
Ooh, and an off track in the end.
Yeah. Nonetheless, they got 92 seconds, not accounting for cones. Very aggressive finish of the lap. I bet they're going to be a bit more conservative on their next attempt.
Luckily for them, the run was slower than their second run, so the off track in the end doesn't count. And now the staff has to completely rebuild the post area as Bombay is pushing the car out of the autocross section, and wow, that was much wheel spin.
Yeah, indeed. They're willing to go aggressive. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked out for them. I wonder if it's that they lost drive in there, or they went off track and they had to abort the lap. That unfortunately, it's going to be the fourth attempt for the University of Mittweida. The track marshal is taking a look around the car. Of course, at this point, what the team wants is to recover the car and make sure that for tomorrow that they can take their endurance slot.
I think there is a cone under the car, and the driver just hesitates to continue driving. And I think now that the officials pulled out the cone, that might be in DNF for Mittweida Motorsport. But on the other hand, he stood there like for 2 minutes already, so he wouldn't have improved anyway. They got one clean lap, so that's for them. And now he's rolling back on the track to get his car pushed out. And the team is still cheering. Nice spirit.
Yeah, if now they clear the post-scrutiny ring, they still get to keep their lap number 3, which may come in handy. We still don't know how the corrected times are going to be, but I would bet this one would get them at least a quarter of the points of the autocross. And for a team without aerodynamics, that's quite an achievement.
So right now I'm with the team members of Mittweida, and yeah, just a little feedback. You drove the first stint.
Yeah,
How is the track? Give me a little insight.
a bit slippery. Not only a bit, it's really slippery. And in the first one, we have some recuperation issues. So I only had front brakes, and that's the reason why I just drove multiple times straight through the corner. Not the corner, but straight through the cones. But the second run, recuperation was on, so I have a good brake balance. But there's so many grain, gravel, and everything on the roads, which does not make it easy to brake before the corners.
So I also saw that you guys like you only have rear wheel drive or only like you have rear wheel drive. You designed your car like that, and you got like this big power slide exiting turn 3. Um, that's the one we can see. How often does it occur on the rest of the track?
2 times. When the one you see when we go to the back and go around, you have the other right behind the corner. That one too. That we have to slide it.
I mean, this is also the fun part, driving the two-wheel drive cars, right? Is it like you do karting, or have you a karting background? Is it comparable?
No, it's not comparable because karting you just put your foot down and have no really power, and here you have torque, a lot of torque. So here you have to control your foot, and you have to do the power slide about the right amount of power, else you would spin.
All right. Then thanks for the insights, and yeah, keep up the good work. We really love your spirit. You seem to be a really fun team as well. So keep up the work. We see you tomorrow in the endurance. So you've got one valid time, and yeah, let's hope that the other teams are also pushing in to the autocross area. So from what I can see, there are well, Delft is standing in front of the practice area. Um, I currently don't see a car driving or getting pushed into dynamics. We've got Karlsruhe still standing here under their tent, so maybe they're pushing in soon. What else we got? AMZ also still in front of the autocross. Um, and they seem to be working on the car as well, so they're also not ready yet. Yeah, and that's about it. Bombay is still standing here. Manipal is standing there in the back. I'm missing Rennstall. And from what I heard, we had E-Tracks getting through brake tests. So I'm hoping that they're making an appearance here as well. But I don't know if they have pushed back the car or if I can't see them from here. Ah, there they are. So E-Tracks are also still down in front of the autocross area, but standing at the practice area. So we still got a bit more than 1 hour left. I think it might get quite busy in the last half hour. That's what we expect every year on every autocross, and there's one team pushing their car to the autocross track over the bridge. And I think that's a team we haven't seen before. It might be the Kiwis from Auckland.
Then they need
Is it?
still the brake test.
They still need the brake test. I hope they can clear it very, very soon. Fingers crossed, guys.
I don't see a second tire set. Maybe it's in their big box that they are carrying, or maybe the fastest strategy is to just clear the brake test with a good set of tires and just go straight for the autocross. So hopefully the change of settings on the car is not too cumbersome and they can do both in 1 hour.
Yeah, in the meantime, Too Fast is on the practice area, getting some laps done in there as well. So, getting some tweaks in the torque vectoring system because it's really slippery from what we heard, and that's quite challenging. And if you have like lots of slip, then it's really hard to drive. So
Indeed. It's looking very good. I wonder if they're really trying to. Yeah, now he's trying to do some really tight corners. Let's see how that translates on the track. Maybe that's a part of the track that because so many cars have been driving all day, it's a bit extra clean. That would compromise the translation from there to the actual autocross track.
no, they can't. what Mittweida is doing. What Mittweida is doing. Ja, also
Here pointing at the entry.
I've seen AMZ pushing the car to the entrance of Autocross. So we were moving a bit now. We left our comfy seat and tried to get some voices in.
Yeah, there's no easy location where you can see everything as it's a very long track. I think everybody has a zone where they see everything quite neatly and the rest a bit from a distance. And that includes also the entrance of the dynamic area.
Like spectating wise, I really like those spots up on those hangars. I think you can get quite a good look on the track there. Maybe you need some. What are those goggles called? Yeah,
Binoculars.
binoculars. Yeah.
Yeah. Almost a telescope. A camera with a telescope would help for our live stream also.
So if someone has a 700 millimeters object for the cameras for wildlife photography, I think that's the right one here.
Yeah, I think the team that brought the tent up there to the top, that's the right strategy. Tomorrow, for example, it's going to be a very long day at the endurance. The shade is going to come in handy, and probably that's going to be one of the most privileged positions to see the track. But yeah, here we have again the car from Zurich with their second driver. They've had a couple hours to think about what they are doing. So hopefully they adjusted a bit, especially since none of the runs were clean. And to keep their streak, to stay on top of all the dynamic disciplines so far, they need those clean runs. So maybe this second driver will start with a banker lap also, since they didn't really get one. I mean, they are legal if they pass re-scrutineering, but it's a bit unknown how the corrected time will look. And we know that this car could do probably a clean under 75 seconds. So let's see if at least one of their two attempts now achieves that.
I'm still seeing some driving back there on the practice track, and it seems like Bern has fixed their rear wing hiccup they had in acceleration, so they're driving again. So they got their max sticker back. I think they might have just removed it and said let's run without that middle flap in the rear wing. Yeah, I hope to see them soon. Right now, Zurich is getting cleared, and Too Fast is getting triggered there as well. So they maybe they have seen something on the weather radar that they're pushing in now, because like we've got that big cloud coming over that mountain there. It might be, well, it could get wet. Like you're in the middle of the Alps. Everything can happen. Nothing is predictable.
Indeed, we have a race against the clock on one side and maybe a race against the weather. Tomorrow we don't have this choice. All the cars have to run whenever it's their indicated time. So you have to play the cards that you're dealt. But now, I mean, they've had the choice all afternoon to do what they wanted. Now there's just a bit of time left, and if they want the runs, they have to come. That's about it. And especially the teams that are not cute, they have to take into account everybody else could be coming at the same time. So you may not make the cut if you prolong the wait too much. A lot of drifting from the car from Bern. Could be that they are really testing how hard they can corner on these very difficult turns of the autocross track, which yeah, would be a good indication. But at this point, I would say the most important is to get the first driver to do their 2 attempts rather than tune too much. At some point, it's not bringing you any more performance.
Yeah, and it seems Zurich has put on high voltage, so let's go back to our desk so we can give you all the insights from our knowledge center. And it seems like it's getting busy, so Manipal is also pushing back in. Zurich, in the meantime, is starting, and wow, they're flying through that first section. There you can see that big work of aerodynamics.
Yeah, no banker at all. They're going for it from the get-go. And hopefully these wind gusts that we're getting now are not unsettling the car at all. Very nice clearing of the hairpin. Now towards the pendulum.
Yeah, getting in the second slalom section where they cannot choose which direction to drive in from. And now they're in the double apex turnaround. And I think that is a really tricky corner as well. Like you have to position it right, and otherwise you will hit cones.
Yeah, bit of drifting out of the double chicane. I think he overshot it a bit.
Yeah, and now the tricky braking point.
Very nice.
Yeah, oh, and very, very narrow. Like
So far, all clean. So that would be a fantastic lap for them. Last corner towards the finish line. Fantastic lap.
yeah, and a big cheers from
Oh, and
the
surprising
crowd.
time. It's a 70.9 lap time. I think it's worth keeping the driver in the zone and going for it again. Can we hit below 70? I didn't think it was possible before, but now they're making me believe.
Yeah, you can really smell the tires and the brakes here. So he was really pushing that car to the limit. And he's still pushing, like they are really flying through that first section.
His drive then is as loud as it is every year. You can hear the throttle pedal pretty much just guiding from the sound. And they hold it. They hold it for very long sections. They really are trusting the grip of this car.
Yeah, and Munich is getting cleared now too. So we've got 2 cars on track for the first time in FS Switzerland 2026.
Yes, and it doesn't look like Munich wants to stay much farther behind, so they're also pushing. Now we're going to hear 2 drivetrains holding for very, very long sections.
So I'm keeping an eye on Munich. You focus on
Yeah, I'm Zed hitting the
AMZ.
braking zone. Bit of correction, but again, they clear the double hairpin on the way back very nicely.
It seems like Munich hit a cone there. We've
Last
got one
horseshoe
track marshal.
and very aggressive finish. And 70.076. So right on top of 70 seconds, I think that's going to be a very tough target for the other teams to achieve.
Oh, and Munich spun. They can continue to drive, so
This becomes now a practice lap for them. So time to push, time to practice, trying to bring a bit the car to the edge because it's going to be a single try after this. Time to turn and to the finish line. Don't overshoot it. Very nice, very controlled.
when there are many stones in the car, you can really hear them. They're getting shot out everywhere, so the off track, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the driver really is in the zone. Gets cleared. They're gonna take off again. Look at the suspension of this car. They don't suffer under the bumps. They just fly over it completely flat.
Yeah, and it's the same bump we had in skid pad, right? Just approach from the other side now.
Very tough one, but they don't seem affected by any on this track. Very nice clearing of the hairpin. It doesn't seem to even upset that car.
Yeah, now throwing the car into the tightening pendulum. And I don't see a marshal running now, so maybe there wasn't a cone there this time. Entering the slalom, exiting slalom already. That was fast. But I have the feeling that it doesn't look as fast as we have seen it before from Zurich. So I hope that they're getting through that lap clean. And then we will have a battle tomorrow in endurance as well.
Bit of correction on the under braking, but they clear also cleanly. Last corner here with higher speed, very nice and well controlled. A 72.139, so very close second place so far. Very good job from Too Fast, really honoring their own name. Now I think we have Bern who overtakes the University of Manipal, I guess, because Bern is still on driver number 1. And let's see how they approach the track. Can't really tell how many wings they are missing from the rear wing. They had to compromise a bit on the first corner.
Yeah, there goes one cone. I think the driver may haven't like got the track layout by heart until now, but still going good. Cleared the double hairpin, also very good. And now in the tightening pendulum.
They seem to be dancing around the cones in the slalom a bit slower than other cars.
I mean, without the missing, with the missing rear wing piece, the aerodynamic balance is also different, right? That's not what they have tested until getting here. So it might also be a bit unused for the driver as well.
Yeah, and with the restricting rear wings that we have this year, removing something from the back may also throw the car a bit off balance. They struggled a bit on the hairpin under braking. Hopefully the car now is still in one piece and the driver gets back to it. They got an 84.728. I think there should be some cones to add to that. But let's see what they do now. Now would be the time to use this experience and really push it. Let's see this first corner. I think those wings suffered a bit under the bump once again in the braking zone.
Yeah, he had a little lock up there. Um,
Yeah, it seems to be a sign that he's pushing. So I think that his colleagues are going to be quite happy to re-laminate whatever they need if the time improves a bit. So far, no cones. Wow, lot of drift. That was an original way to take that hairpin, but so far clean. Dancing around those corners. I think they suffer around these corners more than other cars.
yeah, in the meantime, Manipal also started their second run, so we have two cars on track now again. I will focus on Manipal, and if I see something interesting, I will intervene, but just keep going with Burn.
Yeah, they're cleaning now the double chicane. Very nice diagonal trajectory they got there. I think they really learned from the first lap how to approach those corners, compromising on entry to get a better exit. Oh, a bit extra on that double hairpin. That's really wasted a bit of time. That's what you pay if you don't concentrate on the braking point and locating your car right. A nice finish. And let's see their time. It's a big improvement, 80.097, and so far clean. So very nice job from the first driver from Bern named Joelle. I'm sure the second driver now can use this footage to prepare in the next 45 minutes for their second driver laps. And I think while all this was happening, the car from Manipal stopped on track on the run number 3. Some marshals are approaching now. It's difficult to see from here what kind of issue they may have.
In the meantime, car racing has also pushed in the second driver's queue. We've got 45 minutes left, so getting the second runs in is now it's the perfect time to do it now.
We didn't see much of the results of the rescrutineering. I think I heard the team from Zurich celebrating theirs. I mean, there was much to celebrate with those laps, and I hope the rescrutineering was successful. And car from Too Fast also got out of the dynamic area, hopefully also successfully.
So it seems like the Manipal car is in a safe position, like it's not moving at all. Ooh, and I felt a raindrop on my arm here, so it might get wet soon. And imagine how slippery it gets now with those rubbered-in lines.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the rain's gonna keep a bit of dust in place, but at enough amount of rain, it's gonna wet the track and really make it slippery. So hopefully Karlsruhe manages to get a dry run. Okay, so it seems indeed, I'm not sure if it's visible on the live stream, but we are getting some definite drops of rain. Everybody's reacting to them. Seems like a lot of the public is going to find refuges somewhere. Those that brought protection against the sun now get the benefit of that also for the rain, as we do ourselves. And the car from Karlsruhe is going to be now awaiting the green light, and I bet they're eager to take it as soon as they can to dry in as dry condition as possible.
Yeah, right now we're just getting a few drops. It's not too bad right now. And yeah, the driver is really pushing hard now because he knows that might be his only chance to get a clean lap for car racing.
Yeah, I hope he finds the balance between aggressiveness and not hitting any cones. Wow, what
Oh,
a drift,
look at that
both
flick round.
sides.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that was what they were tuning when they wrote their torque vectoring in that car, but definitely the driver knows how to exploit that car.
yeah, looked very tank mode to me.
Yeah, nice dancing around the cones, getting around the turnaround corner. Now the double chicane, a flick to one side, flick to the other.
And the rain is getting harder and harder, so
Yeah, they're gonna suffer on their second run, so better use this one. So far, all clean. I haven't seen any cone. Breaking point, nicely done. I think they suffered a bit more than they wanted there. But
yeah, there was
still-
one cone.
Oh, that's gonna be unfortunate. Well, try to sort this out quickly. There goes the flag. Very nice.
And still very competitive within 78.4 seconds in the damp conditions.
Yes, it looked very good, but if the car is drifting so much, I'm not sure how much they can get out of this. For sure, they can do one fewer cone. That would be nice if they got that. And let's see if maybe he finds some time here and there. Maybe those hairpins, he can get better traction with a bit better positioning. See, very nice exit there. Again, I think that exit got a bit compromised. Goes around, that's hairpin number 1. That's the difficult one. Bit better this time. So maybe
Much
there is,
better this time.
yeah, maybe those tenths, he has earned them now. There he goes to the second slalom. Turns around. I think they solved the double chicane very nicely.
Yeah,
Now
and
towards the straight. Come pushing to the right. Ooh, a bit of overcorrection. I think that the front wing also paid a bit there.
yeah, but he did get through there without hitting a cone, so
Yeah,
that seems to be a clean run for car racing,
Yeah,
and
let's see the
should
time.
be faster than the one before.
and indeed by 2 seconds and 1 fewer cone. So very good job. 76 seconds for car racing. I have the feeling that the rain has cleared a bit again, so it wasn't a very dramatic drain. Now it's the turn for Karlsruhe to go through the scrutineering. I guess they are quite happy to go through it.
Yeah, I don't hear any drops right now, so it could be that it indeed has ended already.
Hmm.
So maybe we got lucky here.
Mhm.
We've got 38 minutes of Autocross left, with AMZ, Too Fast, Mittweida, and Car Racing having done both of their drivers, like 4 runs, and yeah, Manipal with the DNF on their second driver. So we're still missing Delft and Rennstall and E-Trax. The same goes for Brussels.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see if Berlin manages to bring the car back, because they showed they could easily be in the podium with that performance, which maybe not is not the case right now if they got DNF'd from the runs before. So that will be something that will be quite amazing to see.
And Kit has now left the post-inspection area.
If we hear a cheer, I think that's probably a positive result.
Oh no. Oh, they got extremely messed with the head scrutineer here. Yeah, I hear cheers. So that run was good. And yeah, could be a potential podium, right?
Yeah, I think it is. As it stands right now, there's a few cars that could compete against them for this podium, but it's there so far. So they only need to keep it for 34 more minutes. It's not only a podium, it's also a ticket to the endurance final, which I guess they're going to be quite happy to be in.
So it seems like Auckland passed brake test. Let me see if I can see their car. Oh yeah, it seems like they are going to push to the dynamics area quickly. I see a very hurrying crew of Rennstall guys pushing their car back here to the autocross track. We've got, let me see, 25-ish minutes left, so maybe.
Yeah, I think they're really pushing also the limits of what's legally called walking. At this point, I think it's worth it. Also, I see Auckland
Ooh,
already pointing towards the gate of the dynamic area.
and Dusseldorf is pushing the car into the autocross dynamics area.
Now we're wishing we had unlimited run, so all the top teams would be also queuing to respond to any fast laps. But we're going to be also quite happy to see all these teams now queue for their first or second driver attempts.
Yeah, and Düsseldorf does the overtake and is going to push in first.
Yeah, quite confident moving ahead. Very nice livery that we haven't seen on track this week. That's going to be their first run of this event, and hopefully one that they can complete and therefore qualify for the normal session in the endurance. So that would be quite nice turnaround of the event for them after skipping on skid pad and acceleration.
And seems like there is a big fan in the Düsseldorf car. I can hear it a few 20 meters away. Always giving some power ground vibes there. Missed that era.
Yeah, I think the scrutineers are doing already last checks. Looks like they're checking the belts. That to me is a sign that the car looks good and they're only checking for safety. And we also have Auckland queuing. So we have two teams that haven't shown up yet in the dynamic area now ready to take the green flag. Let's see how many runs can each get and clear.
I think we're still waiting for the car of Manipal, which is getting recovered right now. But it seems like, yeah, Düsseldorf has passed pre-scrutineering.
Have the feeling the wind is picking up a bit. Those gusts are going to be very punishing. Hopefully those drivers have practiced a bit in this kind of conditions so they can adapt to unsettling wind.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see those two cars because we haven't seen them at all on track. Like they passed brake test only this afternoon, and yeah, they made it in time. So 25, 24 minutes. If they're quick, they could even manage to get their second driver in.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested to see what Auckland can do. Of course, the cars that come from down under, they have a different university cycle, and their competition happens around Christmas. So this is a car that was initiated probably a year and a half ago, has already competed in their local competitions, and they may have gotten a second very long testing season. So maybe they can bring some experience that can give them certain advantage.
Yeah, and Düsseldorf is indeed moving to the starting line. There was a quick thumbs up, green flag waving, and off they go. And it seemed to be that the Düsseldorf car stopped already again, but are back and ready to drive. Um, what I initially wanted to say is they really got well over that first bump.
And maybe it was the bump that triggered that loss of power if the inertia switch got upset. And there's some bumps there, so if this is the issue, they're gonna suffer for the rest of the lap because there's bumps all over the place. Let's see what they can do. I like how the suspension cleared the bump. That was quite nice. The car moved through it quite flat. Going through the double hairpin now.
Yeah, I hope they're not affected too much by the powertrain issues or whatever caused them to stop twice now.
Yeah, they may be a bit limited because I don't see them push too hard on the straight. So maybe they have a top speed that is quite low, or that's what the car is able to do right now. They seem quite comfortable on these high speed corners as the speed is not that hard. Let's see what they do on the chicane. Bit of braking, bit of drifting. There's another horseshoe, and now we're gonna see what they can do on the longest straight. Towards the right. There, place the car, turn it around. Oh, I think that was a cone. One cone too much. And now you're almost home. Last high speed. And that's gonna be the checkered flag for them. Very nice job. That's their first lap in this competition.
And they're directly going to push out. So maybe that was a little installation lap and just to secure the first points.
I think it's worth it to secure the post-scrutineering to make sure that this somewhat counts. It was only one cone. Obviously, the time's not going to be great if you have to restart the car twice. And surprise, surprise, look who showed up. Renstal Esslingen is second in the queue. So they somehow managed to recover the sticker they lost. And
Bombay.
yes, exactly. Car 77 is coming for the second driver queue as well as Bern. So we're going to have a bit of a traffic jam here. Not sure how the rules for the double queue count. Maybe it's 3 on each side. So when it's 7, we still may get 6 cars to run.
Yeah, now it's getting busy. Like that's exactly what we expect to at the end of an autocross, and I think Munich, Karlsruhe, and AMZ were very smart to avoid that. Also got lucky with the rain. And now Auckland is driving, and I want you to have a look at the front wing. You see that bracket on there. The front wing is attached to the suspension system, so it doesn't change ride height.
Oh,
while
it's
bump.
unsuspended aerodynamics.
Yeah, and
very unique design.
We haven't seen unsuspended aerodynamics since the HBW Ravensburg years back.
Yeah, well, let's hope for a quick restart so we can see what this aerodynamic system can do. And props to them for bringing the car so far, so they managed to clear finally all the re-scrutineering after coming literally from the other side of the world. That is quite a tough challenge to do on itself, to make the car be ready to race again. Let's see if they can sort out without the marshals having to touch the car.
Yeah,
and this poses again a bit of a challenge for the other teams. If we have a car stopped on track, we're losing racing time. The car has to be somewhat cleared, and that's gonna delay everybody else.
And that's what you exactly don't want to have when you're in the waiting cars. Like, you're in the traffic jam, you're waiting, you might get the chance to get your second driver in, and it doesn't work right now because one car stopped there. It's getting pushed out, so it's definitely a DNF. I really hope they get it sorted in the last 17, 16 minutes they have.
No, I don't
No,
think they're going to be able to recover the car. It's been pushed in a safe zone. So the car is going to be safe. But unfortunately, I think they're going to have to wait until the end of the session for recovering that car. And that means that if the car is good to go tomorrow, they'll have to run out of order in the endurance. Let's see what Esslingen's going to do. They finally got their stickers again.
yeah, and got the helmets on again with that famous mustache under the visor.
Yeah, they're not willing to wait. Let's go. Very nice. A lot of shaking, but nothing made contact with the floor. Very aggressive. Maybe the driver's aware that there may not be a second driver run.
And it's starting to rain again. I felt a drop.
Yeah, me too. There we go. That's a tight slalom. Very nice. Bit of sliding out of it, but I think quite a good solution. Into the pendulum. That car doesn't seem to have too much trouble turning. Now getting out of the slalom. I think it had to brake one time too much out of the air. Almost full gas chicane. That was quite nice. I think he's nailing quite well the exit of all these difficult corners. One cone too much there on the hairpin. I think that catches a lot of people off guard. They get too excited on these very high-speed corners, and then the hairpin makes them pay. But very nice lap from University of Esslingen. 74.398 seconds, so very competitive, only one cone. They can get very, very close to the top of the podium.
Yeah, and Essling decides to run again directly. And yeah, he's really pushing. I think they might already know that they won't be able to put a second driver in. So this is their maybe last chance to get a good lap. And ooh, it seems like the tractive system turned off there in the middle of the double hairpin. That's absolute worst case, because you kind of like need to boost turn around there.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate, and that again is a problem for everybody else. Now delays the start of the next car. It's putting a bit of pressure on everybody. The chances for a second driver for them now are a bit slim. If they can't start the car, they may not be able to recover the car, and that's going to be the end of the session for them.
Yeah, they removed the cone, and yeah, the car is driving again, and that's what I said. Like, you need to remove a cone because you're kind of already turned in there.
Yeah, I think at this point it's worth going off track, getting out of the track as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
the car is out again,
Oh no.
and I don't know what the marshals are doing now, respecting like or having the time in mind that is left.
Yeah. I mean, there's still 50 minutes left, and that means there's 50 minutes to show up in the queue, which is not a trivial amount of time, but now the car is on the complete other side, so it's a long way to bring it back. And if it was easy to sort out, it's kind of tricky to get a second driver in. I think the car from Esslingen is being pushed out, so probably brought into a safe area. That's gonna leave the track clear for car number 77 from Bombay for their second driver. I think, no, I think they still have first driver second run. I think they only did one run and got out.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And they also had issues with the tractive system, so I hope they fixed it now.
Very strategic braking for the bump. Cleared it quite much nicely than earlier.
Yeah, but the car is off again as well.
Yeah, I think now we should lower a bit the tolerance for how much time we allow the cars to restart, as there's other teams waiting.
The car is running again, so that you have to give them that. Like when the car stops, they're really quick at restarting the car, right? So
Yeah, I think this year's the turnaround for tractive systems is quite good. In my time, sometimes it used to be 2 minutes that we lost when switching off and on again.
yeah, I feel you. We had the same back then.
So far, I still see the red blinking light. So maybe that was a one-off. Let's see what they can do.
And the car has stopped again on the back, but I can hear the beep thanks to the strong headwind we have.
Yeah, I think car number 77's going on again, trying to clear the rest of the track. Let's see if the things that are triggering their loss of power don't happen again, but I think it's slowing down again. There goes the green light. Marshall is approaching, but we hear the beep again. Let's see if they can bring it home in one piece. I don't think this time it's going to be much different from their 220 seconds from earlier today. Another loss of power.
Yeah, he needs to get to a full stop to be able to activate the car again. So
Well, that's the last corner. So at least they got this out of the way.
yeah, and tractive system is off again.
I think I recognize the face of the first driver, so that would be the last run that they are allowed with this driver. And that should give Byrne their chance to drive, if I'm not wrong, with their second driver.
Yeah, and we've got 10 minutes left, so I don't know how far E-Tracks are, but it seems like they might have not changed drivers and just pushing back in. And Byrne is running, and they're getting like a big round of applause from their guys.
Yeah, well, at the same time, the suspension suffered a bit under the bumps, took one cone with itself. But we have to say, it's a brave run. They're really trying to push what they can. Clearing well the first hairpin.
Yeah, they hit one cone, but from what I see, that is a quite clear and good run for the driver to get like groove in for his second run.
Yeah, I think it's making a statement for how good this car is. It's going to be a contender no matter what. And tomorrow in the endurance, if they manage to reach the end, I think we're going to see some very nice lap times from them. Oh, was that doesn't seem like a loss of power. I think they just overshoot something. The car's still running. That's going to be, of course, an off course. Not going to be a good lap. But now this becomes a practice for the next one. So the final lap from Byrne will have to count. Bit overshooting it there. That's the lap in which you want to do that. Practice it.
And that was a
Practice
little of
exit.
a shortcut in the double hairpin, right?
Yeah, I think so. And now that was the right thing to do. Now put a bit to the edge, get in the zone, and nail it.
And he's cleared again and running, bouncing through that first corner.
Yeah, if tomorrow the first corners in here, I think they're not going to be too happy to have to go over it 10 times each driver, but they'll have to endure it if they really want the points. Let's see what they do now. Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah, they really got the first section locked in now.
Very nice. Now hard to the left, get the nice entry. And a difficult exit there. Bit of correction before the corner. And now it seems like most drivers are getting this high speed very nicely. I don't see anybody compromising there. Now let's see the chicane. Very nice. Almost no motion at all.
And now they have to get the corner right, and seems like they did now on the very fast starting straight.
There goes the... Oh, bit of correction. But they cleared the hairpin. That was very nice. Very well, good solution. Now the last high speed. Hard to the right. To the left. And there they go. Sorry. Very good time. 76.748. And if I'm not wrong, that's a clean lap.
And to the end of the autocross, it starts raining again.
Yes.
And I think E-Trex is trying to go for another lap, or are they just arguing with the officials there?
Yeah, I think the crew supporting the team from Bern is one of the loudest today's, and they can be quite proud of the performance they put on track.
So we use the short break we have to push back the Auckland car and also the car from Manipal. Yes, and which car stranded behind? That was Rennstall, right?
Esslingen, yes, I think they're also moving.
Maybe, just maybe, they have a chance. It's 6 minutes until the queue closes.
Yes, my thoughts are also with the team from Delft, who still are outside of the dynamic area. And I hope that somehow they sorted out their issues and they are going to try something. Indeed, that's a chance for everybody who's standing here nearby of the dynamic area to take a look at this very nice front wing from the University of Auckland. Let's see. I don't... Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to run again. But it would be nice if they got lucky and things turned on again.
It seems like they're doing an extra lap on that short circuit we have here, our mini oval. Ah, no, now they're pushing back.
I think they want to show us the front wing so we can also take a very nice look. Very aggressive profile also on the front wing. These 3D changes. I guess they were quite interested in controlling the flow in between the wheels in a very particular manner. I wonder how well that panned out in simulation and how well that translates in reality.
And it seems like Auckland tried to take the opportunity and like push back directly into the queue. Maybe they know what the issue was until now, and they're trying everything. Yeah, I see a red light. They're doing an IMD test now. It starts raining again, and like we've got some pretty strong winds down here as well. I feel like a weather reporter that's just about to get hit by a flying sign.
Yeah, but I think this is now the end of the session. This is the time in which you don't really have to look at the weather, the podium, the points, the conditions, anything. You just have to get as many points as you can in the current state.
And we're getting waved by some scrutineers who are pointing at us and telling us Delft is indeed doing a last second appearance for the second time today. And some loud cheers from their teammates as well. So let's hope they got their issues sorted. And also Auckland is trying to get one run in. We have a bit more of humidity than before. So I hope they'll get it done in fashion.
Yeah, there's still time. If they're technically in queue, they can get 2 laps from each driver. I think, unfortunately, Auckland already, the first lap counted as the first attempt. So they only going to get this one, unless they could get a 30-second driver change. I think they're suffering a bit. Loss of power. I think we saw a bit more power on the first attempt. As long as the tractive system stays on, the light keeps blinking, maybe they're going to finish the lap and therefore qualify for tomorrow and not run out of order.
Yeah, and I mean, you would get also minimum point at least for autocross. So, and from the cheers from the back, it seems like that Bern also has passed post scrutineering.
Well deserved for them. And Auckland doesn't stop. Maybe the driver's used to this kind of raining conditions back at home. Of course, clearing the hairpin at that speed's not really an issue right now. He's probably focusing just bring the car home, get those minimal points, and make the lap count.
I mean, they're still running, right? Slowly but surely, making their way through the track as the rain is getting worse and worse. And I think you're having a crisis if you're a fan of TU Delft right now, because they're on slicks. This is the first time I can see water staying on the asphalt.
Yeah, I
So-
wonder where would we check the sign for the track condition, because there may be an official change now in the last minutes. If there was a change from dry to wet, that would trigger the fact that Delft would be allowed to change their tires, and that would give them 10 minutes to do so, I think.
In the meantime, Auckland is still driving, so he's taking his time. That's all fair game. Just bring it home. And Bombay decided to push in the queue, but I've seen one track marshal making a cross sign that they were indeed too late for the third run of their team.
That's a pity. That must have been by a very few seconds. Auckland still in the run. Let's see. That's
And-
about it. They just need to clear this corner.
And bring it home, bring it home. There we
And that's a
go.
checkered flag for them. Very nice job. From the other side of the wall till here, put the car together, get all your stickers, and get an official time at FS Switzerland. Very good effort from all the team at the University of Auckland. Must be early morning for their families. Maybe they woke up to get a very early coffee and see their car run. They can be quite happy if they did so. Oh yes, it looks indeed like Auckland is going to get a rerun. I think that's because of an issue with the timekeeping.
Yeah, I think the timekeeping fell over from the wind. Unfortunately, I hope they manage to get an even faster run now in.
I think at least they deserve to finish one timed lap. But maybe now we have to wait a bit extra to get the okay from the timekeeping. I wonder if the guys from Delft who are still waiting have practiced a bit, estimating at which point is it worth to change to wet tires.
From what I see, the track is already drying up again. So rain may not have stopped completely, but the surface is warm enough that the water disappears a bit. So they could get lucky. Yeah, track temperature or track surface is still really, really warm. Oh wow, look at the light now. It's like God is illuminating us. And we maybe Delft really gets lucky for the delay. Whoever
Indeed.
did the prayer, thank you.
It's going to look especially nice on camera for these last teams that are waiting. I think at this point we're only waiting for the timekeeping to be fixed. So we may get one lap from Auckland, 2 laps from Delft, and it seems like car 77 is indeed accepted into the queue because the scrutineers are checking it. So if that's their second driver, they should also get 2 runs. So let's see what we can do now. No more cars are going to be accepted in the queue, so that's all we're going to have for today.
And it seems that timekeeping has been fixed. The car of Auckland is also turned back on for the rerun, and the SOS signal, Morse code. And they might have changed something. They're going much quicker than before.
Yeah, I think they peak their velocity quite early, so they can't give any more power, but they do have more traction.
So it might be beneficial after all that they get the rerun. Let's keep the fingers crossed that they...
Yes, and look at that. TU Delft is on the starting line under its own power. After spending so many hours in the testing area, seems like the performance has convinced them that it's worth qualifying for tomorrow.
Yeah, let's see if race control is risking a rerun for Delft. If they let them go too early, and we don't know if Auckland can keep up with the pace, they might get in the back of them. But yeah, it seems like they're waiting.
I think that tinted visor is gonna pay dividends today. It's gonna be quite nice on the way back when the sun is hitting the face of the driver to be able to find the spot. I think that specifically the hard braking zone is going to be straight pointing into the sun. That's going to be the critical point with regards to visibility.
Yeah, and Delft is let go as Auckland is in the last double chicane.
Yes, no loss of power for Auckland, so it seems like they're going to be able to finish this lap, and that's going to be quite a nice time. Oh, there goes one cone. And they take the checkered flag. And the timekeeping indeed works, so they have 106 seconds.
Yeah, and Delft also still driving, just trying to get one time in. Bombay, in the meantime, is released as well. I don't know what the exact ruling on...
I think I saw something flying on top of the Bombay car. I think I saw a piece flying or something that came from outside the track flying onto the car. I think there's a marshal ready to signal to that car. I wonder what was that. Delft anyway is staying alive, turning around the hairpins. They almost got it. So it seems like whatever the issue was that was keeping them in their garage, they sorted it out successfully.
Yeah, and Delft's run is finished, and I don't know if they
Yes.
should be able to do a rerun. No, they won't. They're happy with like one run, getting the points in, secure them. In the meantime, Bombay stopped at the end of the first slalom section.
94.696 seconds for Delft. Very nice time. It's above the maximum time, so they're not going to get only the points for finishing, but also a few on merit.
And Bombay is getting pushed out again, and I think this should be it for Autocross in Formula Student Switzerland. So thanks for stepping by. Thanks for tuning in. See you tomorrow morning for endurance Germany. Thank you, Eloy, for joining me again. And yeah, I'm looking forward to commentate tomorrow with you again.
Yes, me too. We're gonna be looking forward to see what the run list is for tomorrow, in which order the cars will be let to race. They will race against cars of a similar speed, and then all the cars that still qualify at the end may run out of order. So we'll see. A lot of points to gain and lose, but that will be seen tomorrow.
Nee, die Stift noch nochmal. Ah ja, ja.